What's up? Welcome to episode 3 of Jar Sports Takes. In this episode, I'm going to be reviewing the New Orleans Saints versus the Dallas Cowboys this week at 1 o'clock on Sunday. In my last video, I talked about how well the Dallas Cowboys played against the Browns. They look phenomenal all three phases. So I'll start with the Saints. They are coming off a 47-10 victory over the Carolina Panthers. And you got to take it with a grain of salt because the Panthers are probably the worst team in the NFL. I don't think there's too much debate about them and the Giants being the top two worst teams right now. There's a good chance they go 0-17. They looked bad in all three phases, barely got over 200 total yards. They played a very bad game. Even with Carolina playing a terrible game, you still got to give credit to the Saints. They played well in all three phases, just like the Cowboys did. Came out hot. Derek Carr looked very, very good. And going into the season, Carr, he wasn't expected to do much. A lot of Saints fans wanted him out of town, and he showed up the first game and, played well for himself. Passes thrown more than 10 yards down the field. He was 6 of 10 for 134 yards and two tutties. He played well. I mean, he throws a lot of picks. Crunch time comes. He's not that well of a player. He played very well in week one. And New Orleans does have a new OC this year, and Clint Kubiak. He came over from San Fran last year. He was the passing game coordinator. So obviously, as you know, history with the 49ers. It'll be a tough task this week to see what he draws up, but obviously very confident in Zimmer, being able to stop him as we stopped the Browns last week. So just going overall on their offense, they have a left tackle, Talise Fuga. He is a rookie this year. He played left tackle this game. He's never played left tackle in his life, played right tackle throughout college, and he had the best pass rate for any lineman on New Orleans. So another young guy outside, Zimmer, I would assume is going to be able to get after him, put Michael on him, put DeMarcus on him, put Nealand on him, give him a lot of looks at this game. I don't think he plays as well this week, so I feel like that's something he definitely can exploit this week, and I'm very excited to, see what they'll be able to do to him. On the offensive line, they only allowed three pressures. Like I said, Carolina's a bad football team all around, but, allowing only three pressures in an NFL game is very impressive nonetheless. And I did watch some of the game. I mean, it was a hard game to watch. No one really wants to watch a blowout like that, especially if it's not your team playing. But the clips I did see, the games, parts of the game I did watch, and where I reviewed in the past couple of days, they look good in the pass game. They look good in the run game. They had 180 yards on ground, and knowing Kubiak, knowing how what they've done to us the past couple of years with San Fran, him being able to run the ball with CMC against us, I would expect them to come out, pound Alvin Kamara, give Jamal Williams the ball, get the run game going and see if we're the same type of Dallas Cowboys on the defensive line. One stat that jumped out to me though was Olave, two catches for 11 yards. Not a good game from your number one wide receiver, but that does say a lot that they were able to put up 47 points without, getting their best receiver involved. Earlier this week, reporters asked Trayvon Diggs about, what he likes about Olave, and he kind of just shrugged it off and said he's a good player. So it'll be an interesting matchup outside this, see what happens there. And now just going on their defense, obviously only gave up 10 points. They had an interception on the very first play of the game. Bryce Young threw a very bad pass over the middle, and that's just not the way you want to start your season if you're a Carolina Panther fan. 13 of 30, 161 yards, and two interceptions, QBR of 12.3. He looked bad. Is it a combination of him just not being confident, not playing well, or is it a combination of, the Saints defense really being like that? And I do think they have a top probably 15 defense in the league right now. I do see this being a competitive game throughout, than it was with Cleveland. I do expect us to win, pretty handingly, but I do think that, they put a little more of a fight up than Cleveland did against us. So some things out of the Cowboys I want to see this week. I want to see Dak get going. Obviously, threw under 200 yards last week. He didn't need to do much. So I'd love to see him come out and, let that ball rip, make a couple of big plays, let CD get 100 yards, just get the offensive game going, And then defensive wise, I mean, just come out and do what they did last game. I mean, shut them down. I think they'll, have a few takeaways this week in the past game. I think they forced a fumble here and there too. But yeah, the biggest thing, get takeaways, get Carr, off balance, get him questioning his reads, just get him uncomfortable. I feel like if you get him uncomfortable, he's going to have a bad game, and it's going to be another game where they kind of take off from the second half. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. But like I said, I think it's going to be another week. They're going to win handingly. That second half, they're going to be able to rest their starters and, come out 2-0. Then you're talking about in the media, they're a top five team, and, you know how the story goes. So I don't got too much more to say. I'm excited for this week, obviously. 1 o'clock game, Tom Brady and Burkhardt back on the call. They're pretty much going to be our regular announcers every single week, I would assume, with the them covering the biggest Fox game. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm excited as usual. I'm expecting a win this week. I'm expecting, say, a 31-17 win, just handily win. Second half, they cruise to a victory. And another thing, I think Dak's going to have a big game. He's from Louisiana. He said he has a lot of Saints fans, texting him, his friends back home. So I expect him to come out, have a great game, probably throw at least two touchdowns, hopefully hit that, 250 mark passing. But overall, I think he has a dominant game. I think he's going to lead us to another victory. And now for the bet of the week. Last week did not cash. We obviously went over the total points in 40. Ferguson did not have a touchdown, and Dak did not throw for 225. So 0 for 3. Very great start to the season, but I expect nothing more out of myself. So this week, I got a plus 638. I'll put it on the screen too. Dallas minus 6.5. CD Lamb anytime touchdown. Olave under 59.5 yards. Cowboys over 26.5 points. And Dak Prescott two passing touchdowns. So all of it looks good. All of it always sounds good before game time. Obviously, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully this week it actually does hit. But I like this bet. I think I like I said, I think we have a dominant win, so easily go over the points, easily cover that 6.5 points. CeeDee Lamb, second game of the season, get a little more in rhythm. I think he gets a touchdown. And then obviously Dak would have at least one passing touchdown. I'm assuming it's a passing touchdown. I think he has at least one more. And then Chris Olave, 59.5. I think Trayvon Diggs locks him up. I don't think he has a great week after, obviously the things that he said. So I expect him to be determined this week, come out, have a good game. But yeah, hopefully made it to the end. Hopefully this video wasn't too long. Try keeping it short, not too much to say in a game like this other than, hopefully they come out, get the job done, take it to W in week 2. If you watched this far, appreciate you watching. Love the support.